service unto the Lord.
Okay.
What caused the teachers in Atlanta to change the test scores?
Wow.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. In those inner city schools, 1-800-450-7876. I want to hear from you today. Today, Hot Topics. I don't know if many of you was aware, of course, a gruesome injury that left the Louisville guard Kevin Ware with the broken leg. We saw that. It was on Sunday. We was enjoying our day at the Bennett family, and all of a sudden, all the guys in the kitchen, Trinity, they just screamed because, or they made a big sigh. And when I looked at the television, my God, to see the ligament from that gentleman, just the way it was just an awful situation. Kevin Ware. And he's feeling better today. But the question that we have today is big-time college coaches make millions of dollars a year, and players receive nothing. You know, many of them come from a low-income background, Trendy, and they'll never see the NBA. So now when we're talking about the TV rights, we're talking about merchandising, ticket sales, etc., the college basketball empire makes millions and millions and millions of dollars, and a lot of these on the backs of a lot of these players. And the question is, should they get paid? I want to hear from you this morning, because I tell you, we had a heavy debate at the Bennett household in reference to that. Anthony and I was just arguing back and forward about should they get paid and all of that. But I want to hear from our listeners. 1-800-450-7876. And I'm telling you, when we get to Atlanta, you know, I'm a graduate from Morehouse College, so I lived in Atlanta for 4 years. And I tell you, it's kind of disheartening, Trendy, because from 2006 to 2010, 44 of the 56 Atlanta public schools investigated by the state were found to have teachers who erased the incorrect answers on the state standardized tests. So we got to talk about that this morning. I want to hear from my listeners this morning. 1-800-450-7876. So let's go directly to Trendy Lindy, because she brought up the question about should church musicians get paid. You know, it's funny because, you know, music is a ministry. So the question is, should it be done by volunteers? Because we don't pay Sunday school teachers. We don't pay deacons, missionaries, you know. And I think oftentimes how my mother was the chairperson of the trustee board at Greater Mount Calvary Holy Church, and many times we would have to warm up Mama's food, even though she cooked it. But we had to warm it up, because by the time she came home after a long day of service, you know, given hours and hours, which was not a paid salary. So talk to me this morning, Trendy, since you brought the topic up, because we got a lot of stuff to talk about, everybody. So we all over the map today. Now, everyone know, before Trendy gets started, that this is the C. Allen Morning Show, and the show is based on beauty, it's based on fashion, beauty education, and life skills. So we're talking about life skills this morning. And this is exactly what goes on in the beauty shop all day long, in the barber shop. That's all we're talking about. So since we're doing that, we're bringing it to the airways this morning. But I want to hear from you. 1-800-450-7876. Trendy, talk to me. Let's start off with the church. Is it a ministry unto the Lord, or should you get paid? Talk to me, Trendy.
Well, I believe that.
Oh, here we go. You know, I teased her and I said her favorite thing is important. I believe that it's important.
This is important, but yes, when it comes to ministry, you know, that's always a sticky topic and subject and things like that. But I believe that the person who learned the skill of how to play the piano and the organ and all of those musical instruments, they paid to learn how to do that. There was a cost in learning. And I believe that they should get paid to play that instrument, just like the preacher had to go to school 4 years, 8 years to learn how to preach, how to break down the word and rightly divide it for the people. They had to learn that it was a cost and a sacrifice, and they get paid. And most of them who have nice-sized churches get paid a nice salary, I must add. So I believe when it comes to the person who paid a price to learn what they learned, they should be compensated for that. Now, when it comes to the ushers and the deacons and things, that's something that you're just doing to make sure that the house of the Lord runs smoothly, and to have an orderly household at church. But the musicians, they pay the price.
Okay,
that's my opinion.
So then talk to me about the Sunday school teacher who went to college and she has a degree in religion, and she paid her money in college and all of that, and now she teaches Sunday school, and maybe she teach Bible study during the week.
Okay, that's good. Now, I've taught Sunday school and Bible in the Bible Institute and things like that, and we did get a stipend, some type of compensation for teaching.
Okay, well, one of the things, Trendy, is that we also have to think about, what about the small churches with limited budgets?
Okay, now,
because you was in a large church.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. Now, what about the small churches?
Well, I believe that, God will place individuals in a specific house for a specific purpose. So if you're called to this small church who really can't afford to pay the drummer and pay this person, I believe it's on that person. Would you like to volunteer your services to see this church grow and become what it could be? I think that's on the individual to accept it or not. But just like we have people who gone to school to be nurses, they go and volunteer at different hospitals before they actually get paid. So maybe the person who go to that small church can just volunteer until the church gets on their feet. Okay,
well, one of the things that I think that we have to understand is that the church, even though the church is a ministry, the church is also a business.
Yes, it is.
And I think that what oftentimes we get confused about, and it's not, a lot of times it's not really until you either work at the church or until you own a business for you to understand that every time the offering plate goes around, it's not just going into the pastor's pocket. True. And that is what a lot of people believe. People must understand that the church is a business. The lights have to get paid.
Yes.
The bills must be paid. If not, do you want to sit in a cold church? Of course you don't want to sit in a dark church. All those kind of things. It's important to know that. Now, I'm just here as a platform.
Okay.
Should they get paid? Should they shouldn't? Should they get paid or not? I'm not really sure about that. I just believe that it kind of goes into maybe the actual situation. Maybe the actual situation in reference to large church, small church, what have you. But I just also believe that we have to understand that even though it is a ministry, it is also a business.
That's true. Let's take it on the beauty side for 1 second,
okay.
C. Allen. What about the beauty schools that have the clinics and the barber shops? Should the students get any of the money that come in for that? No, they are learning. They are students, right?
But I think it's different, Trendy, because the students is OJT, is on the job training.
Okay.
Now, when you are, a lot of times when you are a minister of music or when you are playing the piano and all of that, you have acquired that skill already. So it's not like you are practicing at church.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not like you practicing directing Rashawn Broadnax. You're actually directing.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it's a situation where that kind of goes back to the college thing. Since you mentioned the students, let's go back to that. So what is your take on the NBA, the basketball players? Should they get paid? What is your take on that?
Should they get paid? Well, I think in a sense they already are getting paid with their scholarships. Most of them get full scholarship, room and board, books. Is that correct?
That's true.
And I think they're being compensated. They're getting a full education. They can major in anything that they choose to major in. And they're getting a free ride at whatever college they're playing at. I think it's a even trade. That's my thought. I don't play.
Okay.
Well, what
Okay.
do you think, C. Allen?
Well, I'm going to tell you what I think after the break.
Okay.
But I think it's important for you to hear what I said now, that the basketball, college basketball industry make millions and millions of dollars on the backs of these college students. And the question is, should they be compensated? The coach make millions of dollars a year. Should the basketball players be compensated? You're talking about TV, you're talking about merchandise, and you're talking about ticket sales. Should they, commercial, all of that kind of stuff, should they get paid? Listen, we're going to go to break. When we come back, I want to hear from you this morning. 1-800-450-7876. Should basketball college students get paid while they're playing on the court? All right, this is C. Allen, Trendy Lindy. We'll be back after these messages. All right, everybody, we're back here live. This is C. Allen, Trendy Lindy. Today we're just talking about what we're all talking about in the barbershops and the hair salons, and those topics we're talking about the Atlanta Public Schools, the cheating scandal. We're talking about church musicians, should they be getting paid, as well as what about the basketball players. Now, before we went to break, Trendy was saying that she think that it is an even trade. It's a fair swap. Now, first of all, Trendy, I kind of disagree with the fair swap because now when you think of the millions of dollars that come in and you think of just what the tuition, room and board is, it's not comparison. But to answer the question, I don't believe that they should get paid.
Okay.
Because they're still in college. You are a college student. This is just my opinion. You're a college student, and you're playing basketball in hopes that, some people just play to play. Some people play because they're hoping that the NBA will pick them up. And because of that, you got to put your time in. So this is an opportunity. So I believe that the university is giving you an opportunity to get in front of the television and to shine and to show off and to work and dribble that ball and show off and all that great stuff.
And get better, for the NBA.
And hoping that someone in the NBA, will see your talent and your ability and pick you up. Now, because I also feel that in my argument over the weekend that if they did get paid, then it will be a situation where you are a employee of the university, and you're not. You are a student, and because you are a student and you have a scholarship to play ball because you're good. Yes, the university is profiting, but the university also have bills. Most athletic departments is what thrives the university. Most of the income come in through the athletic department. So I think what we have to do is we have to not get caught up on what the university is doing, but what they are providing for the individual. And I think that's what's important, because the biggest thing that we talked about over the weekend was Kevin Ware, about how he broke his leg, and did he have insurance, and will he ever be able to play again, and did this ruin his professional career? All these things we had a discussion about, and then of course the topic came up: should we pay, or should the students, should the kids get paid for playing basketball? And I think that we can't really look at that money factor that's coming in for university, but we also have to look at the opportunities that the university is allowing for the particular students. Trendy.
I agree with, we can't really look at the money that's coming in, because let's go back to the beauty school real quick. People believe that because we're a beauty school and people patronize us by getting their wet sets and cuts and stuff, we making all of this money, but there are light bills that have to be paid. I mean, people defaulting on loans and all kinds of stuff. That money,
that's a whole nother show.
Exactly. I mean, so we can't really look at what's coming in, because we don't know the overhead and the expense that the college is accruing by by, having that amount of students. About having a lot of students and that kind of thing.
Okay,
So,
we got Sadiki on the line.
hi, Sadiki.
Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good, sir. How can we help you? Talk to us today.
Yeah, let me just say that I just have to disagree with you 100% in regards to compensation for the quote-unquote student athletes.
Okay.
Let me just say, I just did a blog entry entitled "The Nationally Corrupt Apartheid Association," the NCAA.
Yes.
And, we're talking about an industry here, multi-billion-dollar industry. You have coaches who are making $3 to $4 million a year.
Correct.
And then you have a youngster coming in there. You don't know what his background is. A lot of youngsters come from poverty background.
That's correct.
You see situations where these young athletes, because they have virtually no income, they end up being, on occasion, unfortunately, do a crime to get money. And so what I'm saying essentially is that the amount of, the NCAA, in terms of that tournament, they just signed, I think it was a $14 billion contract to cover, I think, 10 years or something like this. So you're talking about a significant amount of money here that is a quote-unquote industry. Now, these young men, young ladies, particularly young men, this is nothing more than exploitation. I don't know if you remember a young man named Larry Johnson. He's a former professional player, played for the New York Knicks. And he got a lot of criticism some years ago because he said, you know what? He said, we're nothing more than high-priced slaves and well-paid slaves. And he put it in the context of, he said, yeah, we're well-paid, but the folks who are in control, they're the ones who are really the moneymakers. So you've got a situation where a young man comes in, he's at the discretion of the coach to determine whether or not he even gets, it's year to year, whether he keeps his scholarship. He's helping generate these billions of dollars that's going to the NCAA.
Crowds, we in the audience too, Sadiq, now.
Yeah, but you look, now wait a minute. I know you watch the NCAA, and you look at those crowds, and it's predominantly white. You might find one of us here and there, but it's entertainment primarily for white folks. And so it's nothing more than exploitation.
Okay.
It's exploitation.
All right, Sadiq.
I can't believe it just, you can call it a student, but many, slaves had room and board.
Okay, Sadiq, we got to go. We're going to go to Daryl, but that's your opinion, and I want you to keep listening to Don. Oh, Donnell's gone. Okay, Sadiq, is he gone? Okay, Donnell.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good morning. Talk to me this morning. Now, are you talking about the basketball players, or what's your comment?
Yeah, my comment is about the basketball players.
Okay.
As a former collegiate athlete, look, the bottom line is, like you said, the amateurs know they should not get paid for it, but they should have a better stipend than what they do. The system that they have in place is flawed, where they can't work. If you're going to allow these cats to play, they need to be able to provide for themselves, because the colleges do not provide everything that these kids need, and then they turn to everything else. But when you pay these kids, you breed a whole different atmosphere of competition, where who gets the most money or who's not supposed to get money. They're there for primary first to get an education first and foremost, and to play sports is secondary. And that's just my comment.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let me ask this question. So now, as an ex collegiate athlete, my question is, so what you're saying is, because I have no clue, what you're saying is that you do get a stipend, but it's not enough. So what you're saying is, if I got it correct, not necessarily pay them, but at least take better care of them.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Take care of them across the board, and not the ones who are quote unquote the superstars. You take care of everybody across the board, as opposed to sitting there just paying them a flat-out fee. That's going to breed a whole different animal. But they need to take better care of their student-athletes, because a lot of these kids, they live in rat hole places. They don't support them the way they do. They can't spend no money. If they accept something, then they get their college careers are gone. So, the rules have to be either modified or adjusted one way or another to help these kids not only survive in the college environment, but also prepare them for those who are want to become professionals to manage that type of money one way or another.
Okay, well, one of the things that Zadiq said was that many of them, which it never dawned on me, that many of them never really make it to the NBA. And a lot of them end up out of school without even a degree. And so what is there left for them to do? And they may have been there 2 years and have made millions of dollars for the organization, and now they are opening doors at Walgreens.
That's right, and that's why I said that the system is flawed all across the board. You know, they have to do a better job in not only white colleges, but especially black colleges, because if you've been to a black college, they don't take care of them black kids like they supposed to, and I can tell you that firsthand. They don't.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. When I went to Virginia Union before I transferred to Morehouse, I was in the football dorm, and I will attest to that. Now, they could at least treat us a little better. The dorm could be a little better, but anyway. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Darnell. All right, everybody. It's time for us to go to another break. But we want you to call me. I want you to hear your thoughts. 1-800-450-7876. Call me now. Should basketball players get paid? Should church musicians get paid? And let's talk about what's going on in Atlanta. This is C. Allen and Trendy Lindy. We'll be right back after these messages. All right, everyone. We're back here again. This is the C. Allen Morning Show with Trendy Lindy. And basically, we were just talking to Darnell before we went to break in reference to how he said that the system was flawed all across the board. I want to hear your comments, 1-800-450-7876. Also, you know, Trendy, I'm really kind of stuck on the Atlanta public schools, how so many of them, they said in the early 2010, 180 educators in the state were accused of cheating. 180 was accused of cheating. And I'm really concerned because, it goes back to, I was under the impression that they were changing scores to help the kids, but then as I was reading, they were changing scores to get bonuses for improving scores as if they had really put the work in. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the phone line here. I tell you, it's just a lot to talk about. We don't have a lot of time. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. MD?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
It sounds like you talked to me this morning. What's your comment?
Well, I was just piggybacking on the call before about those basketball players, and only a low percentage of them make it to the NBA. But what I was thinking to myself was, when you're going to college, of course, everybody who plays basketball I would say a large percentage of the guys who play basketball in college, they want to go to the NBA. But your first priority should be getting your education first.
Mm-hmm. That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? You go there, you do your best on the basketball court, but your priority is not trying to get into the NBA. Your priority is trying to get your education in case this NBA thing does not work out. And at least you have your education and your degree to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm confused. Someone had said, well, maybe I don't know. Maybe a caller need to help me. So when people get scholarships, do they get 4-year or do they get one? Because I think somebody said every year your scholarship go from year to year. So what if you're not really that great? You lose your scholarship, then what happens?
Then you have your education to fall back on and your degree.
But what if you can't afford that Ivy League school that you had the scholarship to go to?
Well, those are the things that you need to work out, on your scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if your scholarship are negotiable. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
I don't know those things.
So let me ask you this, MD. Do you feel that the question that we had is, do you feel that they should get paid?
Well, put it this way. I think they should be compensated. I don't know exactly as far as money is concerned. Well, let me take that back. I think money is, money. Yeah, they make millions and millions of dollars off these athletes who are out there bringing in people, bringing in revenue. Yes, they should be paid some type of compensation, some type of monetary, money. I think they do. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, so then that goes into what Trendy Lindy said about the beauty school students that are working very hard on the clinic floor, doing hair, head after head, cut after cut. Do the same thing apply to them?
Should the cosmetology and barbering students be compensated?
Exactly.
I never really thought about that.
Yeah, you know, Trendy trying to start it this morning.
No, I'm not.
Trendy tried to start it this morning. Now, how in the world? And I know that the show is about beauty, fashion, entertainment.
Take it.
A lot of the students are listening.
And how in the world, beauty, fashion, entertainment? How in the world? We're talking about what the talk is, the hottest topics in the barbershop and the hair salon, and she gonna bring in there the beauty school.
Bring it back to the schools, the beauty schools. But like Cialan said earlier, they are students. They should be taken care of when it comes to books, room and board, the actual classes. They shouldn't have to pay for anything. They should get a stipend. But as far as getting paid, that needs to be something that happens after they graduate from school.
MD.
Yes,
in
sir.
my opinion.
You know what? In my opinion, I believe, you know, I'm a big believer on taking care of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe that even let's go back to the school setting. This is why I explain to instructors during busy days like Easter, Mother's Day weekend, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't cost that much to go and get hot dogs and hot dog buns and little chips. So in the event that the student is constantly working, you know, have something available for them, you know, to make them, give them more energy. You know, they tell me that back in the Calvin Aid days, God bless the dead, Doris Clark would always serve them lunch and hot dogs and all that kind of stuff because she knew that she needed the money for the operation to continue, but she also wanted to make sure that the students were taken care of.
That's right.
So now I understand that when the athletes travel, you know, they travel well, but we also believe that I believe that if they're not going to get compensated, then maybe their living quarters, you know, should be better. You know, maybe they should get, you know, some kind of stipend just to have enough food in their refrigerator. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
Can I say this too, y'all? Now, go back to, well, should the students be paid like on the floor as far as in cosmetology and barbering? But I'll tell you this. If you get to the NBA, that's dependent upon somebody else's decision. Whether you get through cosmetology or barbering school is dependent upon you.
What you mean by that?
I'm just saying that, you know, as far as the NBA,
I think it's the same thing with the NBA. If you're really good, then somebody's going to pick you up.
But my thing is, you're going to get through cosmetology and barbering school. If that, you know, that's going to be your choice. Whether you're picked up by the NBA, that's somebody else's choice.
Okay. All right. Well, I say, but thank you, MD, for calling. I think that's something that we have to really, that's something that we have to really think about, Trendy, because it's a situation where, because I never thought about it until Darnell mentioned about, you know, the way that some college athletes are being treated. Now, if that's the case, then that's something that would share a different light. Miss Nancy? Okay, let's go to the phone lines. Good morning. Welcome. This is the Sea Island Morning Show.
Yes, I listen to you every Monday, but I would like for you to give your locations of your schools where you can go and get your hair.
Okay, very good, Nancy. What's happening is that the Bennett Career Institute is at 700 Monroe Street Northeast.
700 Monroe
Street Northeast. It's right across from Catholic University. It's next to the Brooklyn subway. It's a lot of construction over there, but we have plenty of parking across the street. 700 Monroe is where the school is.
Okay.
And then the Signature Salon is at 705 Florida Avenue Northwest.
705.
Yes, Florida Avenue Northwest, and we do have parking in the rear.
All right.
Okay?
Yes. Could you repeat it again, please?
705 Florida Avenue Northwest is the Signature Salon, and 700 Monroe Street is the Bennett Career Institute.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, dear. All right, so I appreciate all of my listeners who listen week after week. We definitely appreciate that. Why don't we skip gears for a minute and let's go back to the church?
Okay.
Now that is a kind of sticky situation because, some musicians I know play at different churches because they get paid.
Oh, that's true.
So some musicians, what they have done is they have fled from their home church where they received all the training, and now they go to larger churches that have an actual budget. And if there's no budget, there's no play. I think there's a problem, Trendy.
That's a problem. There's a situation also in the church where I know of a church. They throw these wonderful drama experiences during Easter and Christmas and everything like that. I mean, and it's huge, and they make a lot of money, and they use a lot of the congregation to do all of the acting and all of that, and they do several performances every weekend, and they bring in a lot of money. And I don't believe that the congregation that's participating even get a DVD of what's going on, but the person in charge get a salary for putting this drama together. But the actors in the congregation, they're actually serving under the scope of ministry, where the church receives all of these monies. So
okay, but I don't see nothing wrong with that.
I see a problem with that. I think I see a problem because I was in one of the dramas before, right? And we performed 3 weekends straight. Okay. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 3 performances a day.
Okay.
And people came to the altar and gave their life to Christ, and that was really the ultimate of what it was about. But what about that person that took home $70,000?
Part of the problem that I see, Alonzo, I'm not going to talk to Trendy, I'm going to talk to you. Alonzo, part of the problem that I see is that we get so caught up in other folk, what everybody else is doing. Sweetheart, first of all, there's no way in the world that the church, I know I was in church ministry, Act 2 ministry at the Greater Mount Calvary Holy Church, and we did all kinds of plays. And no, we did not receive one compensation because it's ministry. We're in the drama ministry, just like you was in the drama ministry. You cannot look at what the person that's in charge of putting together the whole extravaganza, what they get, because it is a chore getting you. Well, I'm not gonna say it.
But what about
it is a chore getting you
people that get paid?
It's a chore to get you. Why is
there a select elite group who get compensated, where the masses got to do it or not have to do it? The masses volunteer to do it under the scope of ministry.
That is no difference.
Why aren't they doing it under ministry as well? That's what I need to know.
Because there's no difference than the choir director who has a huge choir that may get a little check from the church. So are you saying that the church got to pay all of the choir members who sing in 3 services every Sunday and then sometimes during the week? That answer is no. Trendy.
No, I am not saying that.
Well, it's the same thing.
What
Drama
I'm
ministry, choir. To me, it all falls under ministry, and this is the reason why I say some people, the head people, may get a little stipend because they have put together the entire program.
But what if they're getting huge stipends? Is what I'm saying.
See, there you go. You into their money.
But should they get huge stipends?
It's not about huge to you. May not be huge to me.
I believe sometimes they're fleecing a flock. They're getting.
Okay, Trendy.
I do believe that at times, and I don't believe that. I believe all of us should be serving under the scope of ministry. When it comes to paying the bills, money should go into the pots for the building and certain things, but you should not get these huge, enormous amounts of dollars, checks.
All right, everybody. We have to go to commercial break. 1-800-450-7876. We'll be right back after these messages.
1450 WOL.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly. All right, everybody. I tell you that Trendy Linda done lost her mind here in the studio about the church play. Trendy, let me say it again. you can't look at the person that is in charge of the major event, because it is days in and out practicing and preparation. It's a chore to get everyone know that we bring in celebrity hair and makeup artists to come into the Bennett Career Institute. That is not an easy process.
True.
And the organization that you're talking about, they bring in over 10 national artists, gospel artists, to come out there. That is where we're going to put the artists. Does this work in the artist schedule? You know, it's a whole lot of different things that go along with that. And I'm assuming that that person that is in charge, you know, this is something that they're doing, you know, every day, hours and hours. It has turned into a job. That's why they get the big salary. But I can't turn around and now give everybody stipends that is doing a little part. Sweetie, just because you acting like Mary Magdalene, I'm supposed to give you some money. I disagree.
Wait, if I am in rehearsal 6 months out of the year so that this production can be a success that it is, and you're going to, I don't disagree with the big person getting a salary, and it can be a larger one, but I believe the little people who are out there coming, leaving their job, rushing to get to rehearsal, not putting food on the table for the husband, forsaking a whole lot of things,
oh, Lord, there you
should get a little something. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they should get
disagree.
the 50,000 that the big person is getting, but maybe they should be compensated with $1,000. That's right. I mean, if I am doing it under the
So you
scope
saying
of ministry,
hugs and kisses and praise the Lord don't pay the bills?
it's not. I'm sorry. I need some money in that pocketbook. But
Trendy, that's a problem.
But listen, I wouldn't have a problem if the big person wasn't getting this huge check.
That's your problem.
Because I don't think
that
it's
is
fair.
your problem.
There are too many people
Okay, can I say
fleecing
something?
a flock.
No,
it's too many wolves out there, and I'm tired of it.
That is your problem, Trendy.
What's my
Your
problem?
problem is you're looking at what kind of check that the director is getting. You can't do that. What you have to do is you have to work unto the Lord, and you will be compensated later on down the road. But you blocking your blessings by looking at what the big man is getting.
Well, why can't he be compensated later
this?
down the road?
Can I
Why
say
can't we
this?
all be compensated later?
Okay, you sound foolish. I'm going to tell you why. Because what's happening is
right.
that you sound like the same person that feels like the pastor should not. It's okay for him to drive a Mercedes,
No.
but why would he get a Bentley?
He can get whatever he can afford. I have no problem with my pastor. I think the pastor should ride nice, should live nice, because he's the leader. And who wants to follow a broke leader, a leader in a Pinto? Not me. I need my leader to be at least at a level that I'm aspiring to. So no, my pastor needs to be taken care of well. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
And this is not about the tithes and the offerings, because that's a whole different.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
That's a whole different subject. But what I'm saying,
the topic is: should musicians get paid in the church, or should they do it unto the Lord? And then Trendy then went off on a tangent.
I just believe we all should be doing it if that's what we're doing.
But to some people, Trendy, it now becomes a full-time job.
Well, suppose
and
that actor don't have a job. Suppose that actor doesn't have a job.
Those are volunteers. And if you don't have a job, then you get out of the production and you go look for a job.
Well, how come the director can create his own job and get him a fat check?
Because he is the director, Trendy.
Well, this isn't right. It's just not. I don't agree with it, but it's okay.
I'll tell you one
Call
thing.
in. Someone help.
Well,
I
no,
mean, 1-800-450-7876. I mean, you got a few seconds. Call in.
I don't believe this is, at the end of the day, what has to happen is we cannot turn around and pay everyone. There is no difference than a Family Life Center may pay a director, but then everyone else there is on a voluntary basis, from the receptionist on down to the people that come in to help with different activities. You have to remember that even though it's a business, it's also ministry. And speaking of that, we cannot pay everybody.
Is it cannot or will not? Is it cannot? Because if you're bringing in millions, or if you're bringing in a couple of millions, is it cannot pay or will not pay? Because if that's the case of bringing in millions, you have enough to share the wealth.
Well,
I don't
what I think
believe
what
the
happens,
head
Trendy,
should just get all. It's not fair.
Trendy, I think what happens is you can compensate people in other ways. First of all, it is the experience for a lot of people.
True.
A lot of people is the experience of actually being a part of a production. To some other people, you have to understand it's not the experience, but it's giving some other people life. Trendy.
True.
Some
I agree.
people, if they did not have this drama ministry at the church 6 months out the year, they wouldn't be doing anything else.
True.
So to one, it's experience. To two, it's just it breathes life. To three, it also brings about relationships and partnerships. How many people now have developed real relationships from being 6 months practicing with the same group of people, learning people attitudes, dispositions, hanging out, going out to eat, building. So folks probably got married because they met in the drama ministry. And then, so what I'm telling you, Linda, is that I got it, baby. I know what I got it. Y'all can see how she's looking at me. So, Trendy, what I'm telling you is that first I said it was the experience. Second thing I said it breathes life. The third thing I said that what it does is it may helps relationships. Let's go to Linda, not Trendy Lindy, but let's go to Linda. Linda, what's your comment this morning? Welcome to the Sea Island Morning Show.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. In my opinion, and it seems to be that's the story of the day is the opinion of the individuals, is that if a musician is volunteering their time, then volunteers don't get paid.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Just like the choir members are volunteering their time, the choir director's volunteering his time or her time.
Okay.
Those individuals who are volunteers should not be compensated.
They shouldn't look for a compensation, correct?
I agree with that. I do.
Yeah. No, I mean, because I don't volunteer and expect anything for it.
True.
Exactly.
And then with athletes, I don't necessarily agree with them being paid as though they were employees, but you have to think about the fact that employees in certain aspects of a company generate income and revenue, and players are generating revenue.
Okay, so
and because of players, the universities are being paid, and you said millions, it's billions.
Mm-hmm.
Those contracts that they're receiving with the network, the one with Pac-12, I'm in the Pacific Northwest, $2.6 billion.
Wow.
$2.6 billion.
Okay, so let me ask you this because our time is up, Linda. So, do you believe that the players should get paid, should get some kind of stipend, or no?
I believe they should get some type of stipend. My son is a student athlete, and they receive a scholarship. I get that, but compared to the money that they're generating as a team, it's minuscule. Mm-hmm. And if I weren't and my husband weren't paid decently, it would be difficult for my son to live because he can't get a job because of schoolwork, and the practices are tremendously taking up a lot of his time.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? And I'm glad that you called in, Linda, because Trendy Lindy and I, this is just a topic but we had no clue that they couldn't work and couldn't accept gifts and all that kind of stuff. And so it sheds a different light on us as well, because at first we were saying, no, they shouldn't. But now, after listening to the callers, we believe that something should happen.
Definitely.
Something should happen. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, thank you so much, Linda.
Thank
you
you,
keep
Linda.
Listening to the Sea Island Morning Show.
Thanks. All right, bye.
All right, so listen, everyone, I tell you, we have had an exciting day today. We talked about I really wanted to talk a little more about the Atlanta public school systems, but I definitely understand this conversation we should have during the summertime when teachers can call in and take part in it, or so that'll be great. And what I just wanted to mention to everyone is we're in our final 3 weeks of the Celebrity Makeup Symposium. If there's anybody that would like to become a certified makeup artist, the celebrity artists, everyone from Oprah Winfrey for 24 years, Mr. Reggie Wells, Wendy Williams, Morel Hollis, MTV, Monet Everett. You know, we have a lot of different celebrity artists that are coming in to train everyday people. You do not have to have experience in makeup. This is something we train you from start to finish. It is important that you come out and take part in the Celebrity Makeup Symposium. It's over a weekend event. The weekend event, it starts Friday night, which is the meet and greet. You have classes all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then Monday we get up and go to the makeup show in New York City. So it's important that you start calling the office now, 202-526-1400, extension 18. 202-526-1400, extension 18. Call Trendy Lindy. She'll be there shortly. And get more information about the symposium. Our website is www.bennettcareerinstitute.org. If you go to our website, bennettcareerinstitute.org, you have a chance to see all about the Celebrity Makeup Symposium. That Friday night, Reggie Wells Trendy is going to have an evening. Tell us about the meet and greet quickly, Trendy.
Oh, we're excited about this meet and greet. We're going to have food. We're going to have music. We're going to play some games. And then Reggie is going to talk to us about life lessons in makeup artistry. So we're excited. You'll have opportunity to ask questions, and he's going to answer the question in his own little way. He's hilarious to be around, and we're going to have a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, so that's very good. So what we want to do is, and of course the meet and greet is only for the symposium attendees. Mm-hmm. So we have a weekend. You're going to get a full makeup kit with brushes, certification, breakfast both days, your free round trip to New York City, your entry to the makeup show. All classes are hands-on. It's a conference that you do not want to miss. 202-526-1400, extension 19. This is especially for people who want to do something new, who want to try something different, who want to pick up a second career. You may want to work at the counter freelance doing cosmetics, pick up some additional money. All right, everybody, our time is up. We appreciate you. We appreciate Trendy Lindy, Alonzo, everyone here. We love 1450 AM WOL, where information is power. Many people said that we bring a different light to the station, and we appreciate all of you listening. So have a great week, and remember, pamper yourself. It's your duty. Why?
Because you are worth it.
Have a good week, everyone.
Bye-bye.